Hello, guys. Hello. I am so sorry about that. That was some weird technical difficulties that were probably all my fault because I don't think I sent the signal in early enough. So big shout out to Rondon and Holazor for the help. And again, I apologize, guys, for that. So we are here. We are live. I got a special guest tonight, which is going to be super fun because he and I have not chatted in a bit. So I'm going to just bring him on right now. And that is Mr. Walkingkeys. What is going on, sir? How are you?
What's up, brother? I'm great, man. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Yeah. I mean, people were just so excited about the fact that you were going to hop on tonight that I think everything just broke.
Yeah, I mean that's the first time that's ever happened. So I've never had that experience, but I'm glad to know that my popularity is rising, or people are angry at me. One of the two.
What do you mean? Walkingkeys is breaking the internet. That's what matters.
That's if I can monetize that somehow, I'll be great.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that you could. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Give me a second. Let me just say hi to folks in the chat, see who's here, and then we need to catch up. We talked on the phone briefly for a couple minutes earlier today, but I feel like there's a lot going on. So, Big Barger, what's going on? Birds, bees, and trees. Jobby, did you change your username? Solving chaos. What's going on? Bootops is here. New Age. What's going on, everybody? Postapod Gamer, Frozen Neutron, King Arminius, Credit 64. All right, we're getting lots of folks here. So, Walkingkeys. How are you feeling? I said this to you on the phone, but I wanted to say it here just in case anybody had missed it. But on your channel, which if people don't know by now, it is NFT Gaming and Collectibles with you and Gank. You guys did an awesome interview with Yaba Matt last week, which I really loved. I hope he's able to do more stuff like that, just because it was so cool to see him outside the forum of a Splinterlands town hall and just talk through whatever he's enjoying.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. And that's, we've interviewed just about everybody at working our way up. We started, I think Chatter was our first one, and we've worked our way up through the leadership, and really it was Matt that was the only person we hadn't spoken to yet. And that's kind of the cream of the crop for us. So we got him on, and man, he did not disappoint at all. The stuff he had to say about his passion is just unbelievable. I mean, he's really excited about the game. He's a player, and it's good to be part of all this with him.
He has this kind of we'll just call it like contagious optimism and enthusiasm for Bitcoin and crypto. Which I've gotten to see some of that, like from the inside, just hearing him, talk through how he found Bitcoin. And actually, he's even shared that story on like town halls now too, which is really cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's always fun. I mean, there's a reason the town halls that he is on are always well attended and super hyped up, just because everybody loves to hear what he has going on. So I don't know. I really, like I said, I just really enjoyed it because it wasn't about, oh, here's what we're working on now and here's whatever. It's just like, dude, why do you do what you do? And I think that's actually even more exciting.
And we even got into some of the topics too that are hot button issues right now. The new player experience, the SPS staking, and it was great to hear it from him, just directly explaining exactly his thought behind it, why it's important, and why they're doing the things they're doing. And it really, I mean, it made me just have more faith and just trust the system, trust the leadership right now, because they're doing some. I mean, I honestly think these guys are on the precipice of something amazing with Invenium, and then the game itself, and the Soul Keep, and Secret of Praetoria, and Genesis League goals. Like, the universe is expanding, and I think we're at a really very interesting point where I think we're all just going to be thankful we're here 6 months from now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, like, I'm even getting excited for whatever this Chibi Dinos thing is, right? Like, we were just talking about I was on OpenSea being like, oh, I don't know, it looks like a basketball game or a NBA Jam with little dinosaurs. So it's cool to see them not just building for themselves now, but if we get to a point with Invenium where we are attracting builders all across the crypto and even Web2 gaming space, right? The knowledge, experience, and platform that they now have can really onboard people quickly. And I don't, I say this often just to be very realistic about it. I don't know what that necessarily means for Splinterlands the game and Splinterlands players, but it does make the idea of the whole ecosystem really exciting in terms of like where it can go. And we're all a part of this and benefiting from it in different ways.
Yeah, I think I tell you, here's how I see it working for the people of Splinterlands. So you have the Splinterlands the company, which is intentionally trying to step away from a lot of the decision making of the future of Splinterlands and putting the power in the DAO. And as that happens, and Matt spoke to this, or someone spoke to this recently, is they want to be more of like a contract helper in essence. Say the DAO says we need this built, they say it'll cost $3,000, and then they build it for them. So that's where the company's taking the game. So it's going to be owned by the DAO. But until we get there, things like Azriel, right? I don't know. I just read a book with Uriel in it. Zerial. There's all these Zerials in I just read a book with Azriel's the character. Anyway.
Azriel, Zerial, Uriel.
Yeah. Cradle, the last book in the Cradle series comes out in June. So just throw that out there. No, but so with that, it costs what, $80 on paper. So they're using that to make money for the company. If the company has Invenium and it's bringing in outside projects that are paying them to, basically build this thing for them, now they don't have to come to the community, us, to start to make as much revenue. So I think we'll start seeing lower cost promo cards and things like that, and it'll just be an easier experience for a lot of Splinterlands players because we're not paying for the company, right now. If this works, then, which I think it will, then the companies will have cash, and then Splinterlands will be able to, isn't going to be the backbone that's paying the salaries of Splinterlands. Like that's being paid by Invenium, which was built off the backbone of Splinterlands. So it all works together, and it will come back, I think. So I think that the company needs to make money, and I want it to make tons of money. I just don't want to be the only group of people that are paying for it. And so something like Invenium helps us and helps them. And if they can make a ton of money, then they're going to invest in Splinterlands. There's no doubt about it. So,
yeah. And one thing that I got from your interview with Matt, which I feel like he's alluded to before, but he kind of said it point blank on his chat with you, was Splinterlands is like his focus. Like he loves the game that he's been creating and working on for the last 5 years. And not to say that he's not involved with like GLG and all the other things, because he said that he's like, I have more of like a supervisory role, but he's like, for me, my passion is like getting Splinterlands, like turning this small auto battler card game into a metaverse or whatever it ends up becoming in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Like you start off with just a couple of packs, a couple of cards, and now we have tournaments and guilds and land coming up and all this other cool stuff coming down the corner. So it's like, if you can get not you, but if we'll just say Aggie, right? Aggie can get the company to a point where it's just like, well, now we don't have to distract Matt and the creative team by thinking like, how do we do promo cards to raise revenue? How do we do such and such? Where it's just like the company's making all this. Well, then now it just goes to like, hey, Matt, what cool stuff do you want to put into the game, right? It doesn't, like, we're not being driven by one thing or another. It's just like, what's your vision and how do we best implement it with fewer distractions?
Yeah. One thing, speaking of Matt, we try to get him to talk about other things. Like we brought up Genesis League goals, we brought up Invenium, and you could tell like those aren't his project. It's Splinterlands, and we shifted right back to Splinterlands every time because, like you said, like that's where his passion is, and he's great at it. Like, he's a unique talent in this space, and I think we're lucky to have him, but I think it's really just the beginning for them, I think. And the Invenium project has opened up my eyes in ways that I didn't expect coming from this company. I'm super excited.
What I just out of curiosity, what are some things that you didn't see or were pleasantly surprised by?
Yeah, so I think the Hive blockchain, I mean, as we all know, is just, I mean, if you're on any other blockchain, you know how great Hive is. Like, you're not paying for gas, the transactions are quick, they're reliable, the wallets are pretty secure. I mean, there's a lot of good things about the about the platform, and
Yeah.
it just seems so unnoticed. And so what Invenium does, and if you read through the website, it talks about all these use cases. It's not just gaming that can be brought on there like Chibi Dinos is doing, but it could be like an artist. Let's say, I don't know, Jay-Z, one of my favorites. Jay-Z launches an NFT collection, and anyone that has that NFT collection can then have access to a live video stream of a concert or something like that. So you can grant private access to NFT holders, and they don't have to be games or packs. It could be individual NFTs or series of NFTs. And so that capability opens up fan exposure, fan events, and fan interaction. And as this whole thing evolves, artists are going to take more ownership of their IP going forward, especially the generation that's moving into power now. Like, they're going to own their IP for the most part. They're not going to give it to Warner Brothers. They're not going to sell it to Disney. They're going to keep it themselves. They're going to build a loyal following. It's not massive, but it's solid enough to make money and live the life that you want, you know? And so I think if they can use Hive and Invenium as that backbone and make it easy to do for people, when the bull run hits, and we already have a couple projects on there, I think these artists are really going to see the potential of NFT ownership for fans and giving them access to this unique technology. And Invenium is going to be the gateway. I think I'm super excited about it. I mean, I couldn't be more excited about it.
No, that's cool. So I actually think Hive is a little behind in terms of like its NFT overall like development. I think they could do. I mean, obviously, if you compare anything to Ethereum or OpenSea, it's not quite there yet. But that just means that there's a lot of opportunity if people start building out a little bit more. Where I get excited for Hive is like the social media or blogging platform, because it's like that's something that's been around for years now. It's been successful. There's a relatively strong community around it. And I don't know, just with everything that's been going on, I'm like very much looking for what is going to be that, you know, decentralized social media aspect. Right. And so I'm trying to look at Hive and say like, okay, well, Splinterlands can carry Hive, but I think Hive has a lot of potential in and of itself too. It's just a matter of
100%.
It's just a matter of people understanding the value and the network effect of there being enough cool stuff on there. Yeah. So, but I mean, Invenium is one of the things that could bring a ton of games or a ton of exposure to Hive. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I think you're right, and I think Hive blog and how it works, and even peaked or peaked, however you say it. You know, I think those products, they're great, but they're caught in their own we're in our own little ecosystem, and only Hive people read those blogs. They don't get out too much. But I think if we start bringing in a lot of people and they start seeing the potential, like you say, especially when Hive gets expensive, because if you have a bunch of games being built on Hive, all of a sudden they're going to need Hive as having resource credits and energy to run everything. So they have to have that stakes. That's going to be Hive coming off of the market. And so the only way to get new Hive is to, you know, engage with the platform and things like blogging and stuff like that. So then that becomes even more important. So I think it's coming, man. I think you're right. And just the whole blockchain is just dope. It's got real potential.
I was just looking at the chart too. I'm actually surprised at how well Hive did in like it's down, I think, only like 90% from its all-time high, which sounds ridiculous, right? But most like Bitcoin in its bear market will usually go down anywhere from like 70 to 80. Most tokens will go down 95 to 99%. I mean, SPS, for example, it's down 98%. So the fact that I think we peaked,
it's tough to look at that one, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not the only one. I think Illuvium's down like 90+% too, or over 90 something percent.
Just about everything.
I think Hive peaked at like $3 or around $3, or was it $3.50?
I think it got up there because it was crazy then.
Yeah. So to see it now, I don't know if it's gone below 35 cents for a significant amount of time, but maybe it has. Oh. I was just checking the chart and I was just like, oh, that's not. But it has held. It's not down 99% like so many other tokens are in the bear market.
Well, it has held, and I think that's because, I mean, last year we saw a big spike in Hive, and we didn't know what was that, and then we had a theory that it was GLX, getting Hive the stake on their platform because they need to run this game. And it turns out it looks like that's exactly what it was, is they were buying it for the game and staking it and taking it off. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm still not sure about that, but that's kind of where we concluded last year. So if that's the case, then that could happen multiple times every time a new thing comes out, or maybe Splinterlands is buying it off now and staking it for Invenium. But it's still going to bring in new people that are going to need Hive doing, interact. And so I'm bullish on Hive too. I think it's a much longer play, but I do think if this thing works, man, it could be really big, and this could be the on-ramp this whole world's been looking for.
Well, what I like about it too is you have Splinterlands, who is kind of pioneering the whole credits thing for Hive specifically. The thing is, they're not the only ones, right? The big news for me was seeing Step and secure that Apple Pay partnership. But it's like, oh, well, if Apple's willing to play ball now, right, and is becoming a little bit more crypto friendly, then it's just a matter of hopefully that hitting us on Hive. But even without that, the fact that like there are easy on ramps from fiat to crypto for a chain as big as Hive, and I know it's not as big, it's not top 100, but it's still a relatively decent sized L1. I don't know. To me, it's just, the pieces are there. It's just a matter of building out. It's a matter of giving people a reason to come onto the platform. And while as cool as Splinterlands is, and as much as we love Splinterlands, that has not been reason enough for people to jump on to Hive, right? Not for the masses.
It's a niche game. It's a niche game,
and it's a very niche game. But what GLS and what Invenium do, especially if they can bring on more games, not just, I mean, no offense to Chibi Dinos, but like stuff that is already well established, that has large player bases, and makes it easy for them because the platform is already there. You have what's that called? Credits, so people can just use PayPal if they want. They can use other crypto. It's easy to build bridges off chains to Ethereum or BNB. Like they just take that whole platform or template of what Splinterlands is and put that out for every other game. I think that could bring a lot more exposure to Hive itself. Yes,
and we're entering a world where you don't have to be an expert to get anything done. There's platforms like, just think 15 years ago how hard it was to build a website, and holy crap, like you had to hire people and spend all this money and do this stuff and work with these people to get your website up. And then now, if you want a website, you could literally not know anything and just know that you need to go to Wix or something like that.
Yeah.
And within an hour, you could, literally have a website up, and they walk you through the whole process. Yeah. Crypto's in the same evolution, where, to come on the Hive and to get your keys and to store that and set up Hive keychain, use Hive engine, like all of that, there's a lot of complication and learning process. I didn't use Hive Engine for the first 6 months I was on Splinterlands.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even know it existed. So, things like this on-ramp and Invenium, what it creates is such a package deal that now people that have great ideas and have some money don't have to go and hire experts. They can build it themselves. And so I think we're going to get some great passion projects, pull in some great artists, but also have communities behind these people and these projects, like Chibi Dino. It's an NFT, profile picture project that was dropped on OpenSea, and they have evolved that to wanting to do this game because of the possibilities that this platform provides. It may not have even been what they wanted from the beginning, but they saw the possibilities. And if they see it and it works, and other people see this, then their possibilities are going to expand, and hopefully they'll come to us, and it makes it an easy process. Because if it is easy and if it is effective, then it will make money.
Yeah. And what I love about the whole Chibi Dinos thing is it's once again a proof of concept for what they're trying to go for. But you look at Chibi Dinos, and Chibi Dinos is a well-established project. It's not huge, right? It's not a Bored Ape, but they're building a game. They're Primal Hoop. They have all of these different things. They have a decent sized community. and they want to come on and use the Invenium platform, use GL, you know what I mean? Like they came to Splinterlands, so it's just like, well,
yeah,
it's one of those things. It's like, if you know one is out there, then there's probably a bunch of others who would find value in the types of services that Splinterlands, the company, is offering.
Yeah. And there, you know, Wax, I forget the name of the company. It's like, I want to say it's Nifty, but it's not. But it's something like that. And it's on Wax. And back during the bull run, people were dropping all kinds of packs and things on there and coming up with great ideas and selling all these different NFTs using this platform because it was easy. But there was no purpose to those NFTs. What Invenium does, it allows people to have that same process of selling NFTs, building hype, building community, but then it gives a purpose to those NFTs by providing unique access, providing gamification, and then other, you know, a ton of other features too. So I think it's something that once it gets rolling, it could really pick up. So I'm excited about it, man.
Agreed.
I think that's it, actually.
Nifty blocks. All right, hold on. Let's take a moment just to catch up on the chat here. We got JHU leader Antonio. Birds, Bees, and Trees is agreeing with you. Virus says maybe Zerial the Unsold will be in the final Cradle book.
That'd be awesome.
All right, so Jay Hizzy, what's going on? New Age says it's been a great 5 years to start losing perspective now. I remember opening alpha cards that had no abilities or stats. So yeah, you gotta zoom out a little bit. And I think that's, even for someone like me, and maybe even especially for someone like me that like is just diving into this stuff day in and day out, like it weighs on you. It sucks because it's just like asset prices fall. We're in a bear market. There's delays with all, you know, and again, it's Splinterlands is like every other company out there. You know, you set an optimistic timeline and sometimes you don't hit it. And it's just like, you start to feel everything just compress. And if you zoom out and you look at where we've come in just the last 12 months, that I think most people have been here, right? Getting in sometime in 2022, the game looks completely different now. Even just over the last 5 months. The game looks completely different now, and you know, we're about to have land, tower defense, so you just got to zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, and it comes with age, my friend.
Perspective. You mean wisdom? Like
wisdom. I don't know how that comes. I haven't figured that out yet, but I know perspective comes with age.
Oh man! All right, so let's see. Mr. Dude Bro is asking how universal is Hive. Well, Hive is sufficiently decentralized. I mean, there's a lot of whales at the top, but that's true for every major project, I think.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, one way to look at it is that there are people all over the world that make money blogging on Hive, and the more you stake, the more ownership you have. So I think there's a lot of owners, but it's not necessarily, like you said, it's top heavy. But I think that's going to change too on Splinterlands, to be honest. You know, I think right now SPS holders it's top heavy too, but there's a lot of accounts that are holding, and now that we have, rewards for staking, and I think we could see it shift a little bit where the average person is starting to hold a lot more, and then the majority hold a majority of the tokens and not just a few.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely see if there's an increase across the longer tail of the player base once staking goes live. All right, so let's see. Virus is saying, I would like to know an example of how Invenium would benefit a project like TerraCore or Go. Not hating, just wondering how it works. I actually think TerraCore or Go are ahead of the process. Like, they wouldn't benefit because they're already here on Hive, and they're already being built by somebody or people who are native to blockchain. I think where Invenium and like Arcade Colony will eventually end up will be the games that are built by Web 2 that want to have some kind of Web 3 element, but don't want to take the time to invest. So in a way, you used a great example earlier, Walkingkeys, where it's just like, think of, you go back to like the 90s, for example, or like early 2000s. There were a bunch of businesses really successful, brick and mortar businesses that didn't want to invest the time to figure out how to build a business. So Splinterlands or Invenium is almost like the Wix of building a website. Sorry, not a business, but building a website. So if they can do that, then just think about all of the games out there that are not crypto related that will be able to come in and do like a plug and play, drag and drop type of experience with Invenium and create that Web3 experience extension of their game.
And not just gaming. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's not just gaming. It's also artist access. And that's musical artists. That could be, production artists. It could be, I mean, anything. Physical art, whatever, graphic arts. So it's really cool because if you buy an NFT in OpenSea, and I've done this with a lot of them, I get special benefits. But in order to get those benefits, I've got to go outside to another platform to then, whether I go to Discord or go to a website or have to, log in with my MetaMask on some random website, all these random things that can foster fraud. So what happens here is that a level of fraud, not all fraud, but a level of fraud is now null and void because it all happens on one platform. So what that does is it brings that access to the platform instead of having, sending people to Discord to sign up for a whitelist spot. You could probably, I don't know for sure, but I bet you can do it all on the platform, or at least that's how it looks like it'll be able to do. So, I think that decreasing fraud is one of the biggest things that companies need to be looking at that are looking to grow in this space, and then increasing accessibility. Like, those two things are critical, and Invenium solves those two problems right now, at least in my eyes. And I'm no expert. I'm just a guy.
Hey, we're all just the guy. No, I think it's a great perspective though. But it's just in the beginning stages too. So you never know what it could evolve into. Boba Fett, hey, what's going on, Boba Fett? Is saying the beauty of building your game on Hive is you automatically get a ready-made, invested demographic ready to try your game, which I think is true. You saw that with a lot of the new games that have launched. People just want to go check it out and be a part of it. Also thinks Hive is very underutilized. Postbot Gamer says now you must look. Is there a Hive pump happening right now? Somebody was talking about that.
Well, let me go check that out. That's got my ears perked.
Team Vanguard says, having a bad day. I'm sorry. I hope your day gets better. What's that?
Do you blog? I apologize for not knowing.
No, I'm trying to do more now because I want to explore more around Hive and kind of support more around Hive. Just because I've not that I could always do more for Splinterlands, but I feel like I already do a lot of Splinterlands content. So part of me is thinking, okay, well, the whole rising tide raises all ships. I want to see what else Hive has to offer, because at the end of the day, I'll be honest with it, my social network of people that I know, it's probably less than 1% of people that I could convince to come in and play Splinterlands, right? Yeah. Just because it's such a niche type of game. So I want to be able to explore what else Hive has to offer, so that as people start to explore crypto, when we get into the next bull run, whether it's 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, I think, like others have said, I think that Hive has a lot to offer, and there's a lot of ease of use. So I just want to see what else is out there, start helping these other projects rise up a little bit, so that when somebody comes in and checks out what I do or what I'm doing, it's like, yeah, Splinterlands is not for me, but I want to check out this, idle clicker game, or I want to check out this sports game, or I want to check out, like, maybe I just want to get on Leo Finance Threads, right? That's like a cool new version of Web3 Twitter. So
yeah. I think you're right on the money. There's so many things, and I made my bones by blogging. That's how I got into crypto, really. It was on Steemit, blogging and earning rewards during the bull run. And then I would take half and stake it, and the other half I'd pull out and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I did that during the whole bull run. I was blogging 5 times a day. Like, I was in it. And then that's also what I used to get into Splinterlands, when and then it split the Hive, and I had everything on Hive. And so I think one of the best things that we could do is find a way to, we as a community, or one of the best opportunities is by blogging, engaging, like 3Speak, like you said, Threads, and there's just so many different ways And even just posted on Hive blog and then tagging the right things you can post on Leo Finance, Splinter Talk, you know, have it spread out. But yeah, I mean, there is just so much potential, and I've always thought that, and that's really why I've been here, because Splinterlands, the game, is not my favorite game to play. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, of course.
I love the art. I love the community, but I like buying low and selling high. That's one of the things I absolutely love. And flipping cards and doing things to make my account move up. That's what I enjoy. And Splinterlands allows me to do that. So that's why I'm here a lot. But if there's new games that I fall in love with, then that's even better. And that's what this whole thing brings us. The arcade colony could be amazing. Just the potential is incredible. You know, I hope they can do it, and I trust them. But I mean, I'm excited, dude.
Someone's saying, "Wait, is this FOMO I'm starting to feel?" Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm no longer feeling like FOMO-ish or let's say bullish about crypto this year. I just think that there's a lot of hurdles, and it's almost like you have to root against the like traditional finance system and then hope that everybody comes to Bitcoin and crypto. And I just don't know that I want to see that happen in the world. At least not right now. That sounds like it'd be terrible.
Just patience, my friend.
Yeah. So I
think just patience.
I think you zoom out on a long enough time horizon, and for me, I'm looking at this in 4-year chunks, 4-year cycles for the Bitcoin halving, right? So that's happening less than a year from now, and usually there's a lot of fun that follows that, 6 to 18 months that follows that. So Nifty Blocks,
usually.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think actually it was. Oh, yeah, cool. If you think about it too, Splinterlands was built during the bear, and then we had the bull run, and that caught the team off guard. Matt spoke a lot about it, of how just unbelievably off guard they were caught and had to build an organization pretty much on the fly, and they did a great job. And maybe they expanded out too big. You know, the bear market hit, they had to let go 49% of the people. But since then they've been running lean and mean, and even during the bear they're expanding them. All the things that are coming out and things that are happening, like I don't know how anyone could not be optimistic for the future of Splinterlands. If we can accomplish this in a bear, imagine what we can do in a bull. So and just everything will be in place. Yeah, and like now it's not the time to bring in new players either. You know, now's the time to keep building this thing. And then when the bull hits, then we start bringing in new players because it's going to be easier. You know, make hay when the sun shines.
Yeah, you know what's funny is people are just so upset, like, oh, we're not like growing the player base and blah blah blah. And I'll be honest. I mean, I don't have visibility to every project out there, but I don't think you could point to a single play to earn or crypto gaming project that has been successful in terms of bringing in a massive amount of players over the last, we'll call it 12 to 18 months, right? Since the pivot in November of 2021, right? Like since the highs and since the market started to crash, I don't think any project has been successful bringing players in mass. So this space is all brand new still. And I think most of the people that rush in tend to rush in because token prices surge and there's high speculation, and we're just not in that environment right now.
Yeah. And there's optimism, and there's not optimism now.
True.
The only exception that I can think of to what you just said, and it's not even that big of an exception, would be the Bat Cow project on Palm Studios. They launched in March. They sold in March, or you could open them in May of last year. So they're a year old right now. But when they launched the DC Comics as collectibles on their site, they did get a huge influx for like Superman 1, some of those big comics. But even now they've had issues. Vivi's had issues. Vivi's kind of the gold standard, I think, in collectibles. But their community has been uprising.
Every project when it first launches, there's a lot of hype. I mean, we saw that with GLS. We saw that with, even Golem Overlord, right? I mean, that token price has now crashed like 95% because...
Yeah, I stayed away from that thing.
Yeah, I had fun with it, but it's just a game at the end of the day. And like part of it is looking at this and saying like, well, how are you going to interact with all these things What's your time preference when it comes to quote unquote investing in assets? And then it's just like, what do you want? Like, one of the questions that I get so often, and it's not that it's frustrating. It's just like, I don't know how to answer it, even though I know it's well-meaning or well-intentioned. It's just like, I have $100. What should I buy? Right? I'm just like, well, I don't know what your goals are, right?
Yeah.
If you're here to play the game, then buy cards, right? Because you need cards in order to play. You don't even need SPS to play, right? And we have the SPS staking stuff
or
coming
get
soon.
rewards.
Yeah, like you don't even need SPS. You could just buy cards and then you can play. If you're looking to invest, well, I'm not a financial advisor, but I know that there's certainly things that I think have higher potential than others, right? Or areas in which that maybe have limited downside risk or high upside or whatever it is. But it's such an open-ended question all the time, and it's just like, what are your goals? What are your time preferences? Are you looking to flip stuff? Because if you are, I'll tell you this right now: Splinterlands, the Splinterlands community is so slow. They're so slow. Like DEC is trading at like what 730 Splintoshis right now.
Yeah,
you saw DEC go almost to peg when we had land phase 1. Again, I'm not trying to make a prediction here that we're going to go almost to peg when land phase 1.5 comes out, but I would be shocked if DEC doesn't move. So it's like, you want to make a trade, go right there, right? Like, that this is coming out in the next like 6 weeks. So again, it's just whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, to your point, I think I would tell your friend that said I have $100 to invest. Where would I put it? I would suggest to them buy a piece of land, buy some cards for that land, and have enough DEC to stake on that land. And that's what I would tell them right now. But again, you're right. You're right though. Like, what are your goals? I think DEC, and I'm actually, whenever I try to save money on Hive, I put it in liquidity pools, because then it's still there if I want to buy something randomly.
Quick access.
But it's more steps to get it, so it's kind of annoying. So I can't be like 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, oh, I want to open some chaos packs. So, but I'm saving DEC and I'm stacking my SPS, and as soon as land comes out, I'm going to need that DEC to stake to get my land up and running, and then I want to just stake all that SPS. And I am salivating. I get my I have a little side gig and I get paid at the first, and like I can't wait to get that money because I want to put some of it into DEC. Like, it is the best buy right now in crypto, I think. I mean, I don't see how it couldn't go up when you have to stake up to 10,000 DEC per card spot. Not everyone's holding the amount they need right now. That's not possible. So
no,
it's going to get crazy, and there's going to be a rush.
Yeah, I mean, guild stuff is going to happen hopefully in July, new guild buildings and all that. So, again, it's like, I don't know. All right, hold on. We're at 8:45 already, so this is crazy, guys. Let's do some giveaways. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We're gonna do. We'll just do all 3 giveaways now. So
it's mayhem, right?
Monster mayhem, yes. So let me go ahead and refresh this now. And why don't you guys start piling in? And while we're waiting for that, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Sorry, I know Keys and I get into it, so you guys have been talking quite a bit. Let me see. I feel like maybe I'm playing more humans in Bronze Modern. Well, that's good. From Big Barger. NFL God says, question, what's your thought about Hive blockchain and how it was crashed by just Splinterlands hammering it back in the day? All the bots, can Hive handle a huge influx of games? I think it can, but I do agree with you that the blocks always running behind is definitely a concern. So I don't know how that'll be handled on a massive scale, but I'll say this, NFL guides, Aggie and Matt know way more about Hive than I do, and if they feel confident enough to build here, I kind of trust their judgment.
And to be honest, a lot of people are like, why Chibi Dinos, which is a relatively small project? I think that's why.
Your virus is saying this was asked in the town hall and they misunderstood, thinking it was servers. Well, that's something that should probably be re-asked then, because I would love to get their perspective on it. But here's the thing, Keys, and I think you're more, more about the technical side than I do. It's like, if there's a lot of resource intensive stuff, you don't necessarily need to put that on the Hive blockchain. You could have it on your own servers like Splinterlands does, and then just have whatever's required to go be logged on the blockchain, right?
Like a layer 2, yeah.
Yeah, layer 2 essentially.
Yeah, and I think that's how it's built, but I don't think it's like directly. Yeah, I think it's separate for sure.
Yeah.
Now that's a good question though, but I do think that they're starting small to test it to make sure things do work right. Like you don't want to bring on Warner Brothers right away, you know. And we still have that deal, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
I hope something comes of it. It's been a while, so.
Well, this is the project that I think, because when it came out, they said specifically that they're looking at making some games around these guys, and so Arcade Colony would be the place to do it.
A good place to do it. Yeah. Birds, Bees, and Trees says he's missed both of us and Darkest Night and Gank 2. Nice.
We've
missed you guys too. SPL reduced the amount of data signed on the blockchain, which helped Hive, but in the future, I think the validator nodes will handle more as a level 2. Yep. So Rising Tide raises all ships. Cool. Polygon got crushed by flower collecting game. Bad app design can bring down any blockchain. You guys remember CryptoKitties? All right. So if you haven't chatted yet, actually, we got 55 people here. That's enough. But if you have not chatted and you want to get in, I believe we're going to pull 3 of these. Let's give the subs a little something extra. I'm gonna do promo mode on.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna go. We're just gonna rock out because it's already. We only got 10 minutes left, so let's go ahead and.
I can't believe it's gone this fast, dude.
Hey man, it's what happens when you're having a good time, Keys.
I know, man. I miss talking to you, dude.
Time flies when you're having fun. I know, man. It's been good. All right, Post-Apoc Gamer, congratulations. Let's see what you got.
Big money, no whammies.
Come on. Oh, my computer's freezing. Nope. There it is. Nope. Gold foil Venari Knifer. All right. Well, it's got a little nice shine to it. I know it's a common card, but I do like this card a bit. So congratulations. That's 1 of 3. We're up to 58.
Can't go wrong with the gold.
Yeah, 58 eligible users. I'm going to go ahead and pick another winner. And we have Slafer Red 01. Congratulations. Let's see what you won. Oh, I saw an Astral Entity pop up. A Lily Shield Paw. Is that a Hill Giant? Oh, it's not gold. Sorry, Slafer. I don't know. I'm saying sorry. You got a free card, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
I thought it was gold. All right. Last one for the day.
All right. We need something big here. Legendaries.
All right, Wang Smith, congratulations. Let's see what we got. Come on. Big money. Let's go.
Gold money.
Money. That's all we need. Hey! Gold Murdali Guardian. That's pretty good. Gold money it is.
That's a good card.
Congratulations, Wang Smith. You only need, I think, 21 more of them in order to max it out. I think you need like 22 for a gold foil.
Knocking on the doorstep.
There you go. Getting started.
So real quick before we talk about anything else, how was your trip, man?
Oh man, it was.
I saw a picture on social media with your feet in the Mediterranean, and it made me smile. You
know that this was my first overseas trip since before the pandemic, so it was good, man. It was really good. So for those who don't know, I was in Greece for the past week, and I apologize. Last week I actually had all intentions of streaming the Sltv from Greece, but then there was some weird internet issues and then the time difference. I apologize for missing that. But yeah, you know, it was good. I forced myself to not check in on a lot of Splinterlands things just because I was like, you know what, like let me just step away from that. And I think that helped to give me a little bit broader perspective of like, oh yeah, there's a real world out here. I should go and enjoy a little bit and let the team focus on what they're doing and stop commenting on every single move they make every single day. So
we appreciate you commenting. I tell you, I watch a lot of your videos, man.
I appreciate that. I love it, man. I love the energy around the project. I love all the different perspectives that content creators like you as well bring. So it's like I can get, but I'm the type of person that can just get like super obsessed with something for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a testament to Splinterlands the project, Splinterlands the game, Splinterlands the team, and Splinterlands the community that I've actually stayed disengaged with something for this long.
I feel the same way, dude, because I'm the
weird.
same. I'm the same way. My wife calls it being temporarily obsessed.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's why I have like a collection of books. I've got a collection of records. I got a collection of comics. Like, it's because I get obsessed with something for a little while. But over, you know, the past couple of years, I mean, I stream twice a week, and I haven't missed one in a year or something. You know, like
It's crazy. Yeah,
it is unique.
awesome.
It is unique. Yeah.
I like, because I'm a very like on and off type of person, very burnout, like especially like with music, right? Where I'll do like 20-hour days, like trying to get a project done, and then I don't want to like touch a guitar for another month after I'm done with that. So with something like gaming, it's the same way, where it's just like I'll get a game, I'll be obsessed with it for 2 months, and then after that I don't want to play it anymore. So, you know, this has been a fun ride, and part of me feels like, if I may be so bullish to say, part of me feels like it hasn't even really started yet, because we got in at the tail end of the last, you know, big, or at least I got in at the tail end of the last big boom, and have seen all of like the building blocks and foundations being laid for whatever kind of run comes next. And, you know, that's not to say that we will get it or when we'll get it, but it's definitely been fun to be a part of. And I can't imagine what, in a good way, I can't imagine what this ecosystem and this project looks like when, you know, people are not worried about where their next meal is coming from and the economy's in a better place.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money, man. And I came in like 4 years ago in March, like a while ago, the first year. And I mean, I remember my account was sitting at $500, and I was excited, even though I had basically put in $500. Like, all right, well, that's what the value is. And it pretty much stayed there. It went down a little, maybe 300, but then all of a sudden it popped up like 12,000 in a matter of 2 weeks. And I didn't know what the heck was happening. And it was a wild ride, man. And yeah, I mean, it definitely came back down too. but you know, it's the longer, the more of these ups and downs you experience, you start figuring out how to take advantage of them more. And you start, you know, the next bull run, we're going to be ready for it. People are going to be ready. And some of those extra cards that they have, they're going to sell them off and take a little profit here and there. Or reinvest in things that they really wanted to get or something. But yeah, I think it's going to be a wild ride whenever this bull run comes.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I was just going to say, that's why it's important to blog now and earn, you know, a hive here or whatever, because if you do that for a couple months and the hive, you accumulate a couple hundred hive, all of a sudden that spikes up to $3 or $4. Like, that's easy money.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like SPS is at what, little over 2 cents, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and make a price prediction, but what's cool to think about is the fact that the team wants SPS to go to the moon, right? Like, they have every incentive to push SPS to the moon. Like, everything in the ecosystem and for them as a company will benefit if SPS goes to the moon. Yeah, so they're actively trying. Yeah, they're actively trying to figure out how to do that. So if you believe in their ability to do it, I don't know, things could get really exciting in a couple of years, right? So,
yeah, and you know, I think one thing I hear a lot of people talk about, like dollar SPS, because that's what it was. Like, that's the all-time high. I just don't even think that's in a possibility. Like, a dollar SPS, just not a possibility until like many years down the road. But we're at 2 cents. 25 cents, 30 cents in a bull run when people are using it and staking it, and it's more limited and people are burning it to get DC because they need it. All of a sudden, I think that is a very real possibility. So, I just, you know, it's important to hedge some expectations, but I think that's
wise words.
Yeah, I think right now just stake SPS is the key. You know, that and hold a little DC if you hold land, because you don't want to buy it at $1. Sorry.
No, you're right. No. I think you're all the money there. I don't know. To me, I'm just enjoying playing the game, right, for what it is right now, and accumulating while enjoying the game from a game standpoint, enjoying hanging with the community from a community standpoint, right? So, yeah, I don't know how much longer we have to ride out, whether it's 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, until things like turn around. But As I tell Darkest Night all the time, I can't play with my Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's like, but I can play with my Splinterlands assets and then earn more, which is super fun. So
I sold a bunch of NFTs and moved that money to Splinterlands because I could play with it or stake it and get rewards and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's right now, it's the calm before the storm. Once June hits and these things start rolling out, and then they start talking about what's coming next down the pipeline, and then Land 2.0, and then possible Bull. I mean, it could get wild quick.
Let's hope so, man. Because I'm all for it.
No FOMO.
All right. Well, we got a minute or so left, so we can wrap up. Just want to say thanks, guys, for hanging out. Keys, I want to throw it to you. Do you have any final thoughts? Do you have anything you want to plug? You guys do your streams on Mondays and Thursdays.
So
if you guys
Monday and Thursdays on YouTube. Come check us out. Gank and I, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes 9:35.
Fantastic guests. If you guys have not watched the interview with Yaba Matt, I would highly, highly recommend at least going to do that. Because, well, why are you here if you don't want to? Why are you playing the game if you don't want to hear what the founder has like as an overall idea? But Keys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Happy 5 years, by the way.
Happy 5. Oh, we didn't even talk about this burn event that's coming up.
I know we didn't.
It's gonna be.
We'll keep them hanging until next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully, we'll get some more information by the next time. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll be back hopefully next week with maybe more information. Actually, there's no town hall next week, I guess, but we'll still be.
Well, I mean, they're going to do it in May, so we'll know.
They're gonna. Oh yeah, they have to do it in May, so we will hear more about that. So keep an eye out. Nardion should be coming on next, so make sure you hang out. Shout out once again to Moe, and shout out also to Rondon and to Rondon and Holzar for helping me get the stream back up and running. Peace.